Okay, welcome to your weekly training. I'm going to talk to you today about a framework that will change everything for you. Anyone who's in here who wants to start and build a profitable online business, hopefully that's why you're here. That's what this group is for. So let's take a look at the difference between, sorry, my lips are so chapped. Let's take a look at the difference between someone who makes their first $1,000 online and someone who's still stuck in like tutorial hell. Because the difference between those two people isn't talent and it's not luck and it's not that someone has conceptually a better idea than someone else. It's this, and it's what I'm going to show you. Community and clear framework. So today I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit on exactly how my students go from I don't know what I'm doing to holy crap, this is actually working. And it's not because they're getting more information, right? They're getting right information in the right order with the right support system. Let me show you what I mean. So most of the time, what you see everywhere is this information trap. You've bought courses, you've watched YouTube videos, you have a million things saved in your Instagram accounts, you have people's accounts that you follow, and you know stuff. But knowing and doing are two very different games. You're usually trying to figure this out on your own. Trust me, been there. I can only speak to this because it literally was me so long ago. And then when you hit a roadblock, you give up because you've spent 3 days Googling answers that may or may not apply to your situation. And so you Google these answers that might be right and might not be right. And then you go try to implement them and they don't work because it's not in the right order. It's not the right system, or you don't have someone to help walk you through. Without a clear path, every new strategy looks like the answer. So you jump from Instagram growth to email marketing to Pinterest and you never fully master anything. Sound familiar? This is why 90% of people who start online businesses never make their first dollar, because they can't. But because they're missing two things. Not that they physically can't, they can. They're missing the two things that actually help them create results. So here's the two missing pieces, and we're going to look at it inside my community here. Missing piece number one is a simple step-by-step framework. Okay, most programs throw everything at you all at once. And they're like, okay, here it is. Good luck, right? But successful people don't learn everything at once. I definitely didn't. They master one step, and then they master the next step, and then they master the next step. And I think this is the biggest thing that goes wrong in the digital marketing space is people think like, well, I have to know exactly how I'm going to put it out there and exactly what content I'm going to create and exactly what offer I'm going to have. But really, it starts with mindset. And I know we hate to hear that, but it truly does, because you have to believe that you're going to succeed before you actually start, at least a little bit. Okay, so here's what that looks like. Okay, because again, we don't learn everything all at once. That's why inside Pop, Lock, and Profit, which is what I'm going to show you in a minute, I enter them into what I call the POP method. So P stands for pick your profitable idea, O stands for organize your offer, and P stands for profit through systems. So let me just show you what that looks like real quick. I do have access to this course because it is my course, guys. There we go. Okay. Must not have updated. Okay. So this is when you come inside of Pop, Lock, and Profit 2.0. It just got an update. It is amazing. When you come inside, you're obviously going to have a walkthrough, and that's going to tell you how to use this program, what to do first, next, and last. But everything is lined up for you as you're going to see. Module 1 is mindset. We have to get here before we can get anywhere else. So that's like the biggest thing. And these lessons, you guys, are short and concise for a reason. Okay. So this is the POP lesson. This is what I'm talking about. So this is where you pick your profitable idea. We have to look at what we call the market matchmaker. Most people head out and go, I'm going to create this because I love this and it's so great and it's amazing and it's going to be so good. And then they do. Like they get a hairpin idea, they go for it. But what they never checked was the market. They never checked to see, wait, do people actually want this? This is the demand decoder, right? So we look at these two lessons, lesson 1 and lesson 2, look at your zone of impact. What are your skills? How do we find them? What are your strengths? What are the things that you've been through that you can turn around and turn into a profitable business? And then the demand decoder allows you to see, like, are there actually people looking for it? And if they are, what exactly they need? And then this is breaking down your audience. So without these things and your messaging that comes from 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, if you don't have your messaging right, your offer will never land. Your offer will never get in front of the people who need it. Even if it does get in front of the people who need it, they will not understand that you have the solution to their problems. So figuring out your zone of impact, then figuring out if there's actually demand for your offer, idea, product, or not if there's demand, because I can almost guarantee that there's demand for basically any niche. And we just have to be sure that there's a hungry audience. And that's the demand decoder and the audience intel advantage, where we look for those things. And then we pull all of this together into your messaging. Okay, I actually took one of my students who was having a very hard time figuring out her niche, and we interviewed her, and I walked her through the process that I take all my one-to-one clients through on find your niche if you're stuck finding your niche. That's just a very helpful, like, real person experience. Okay, so that's Market Matchmaker. Then we have the organize your offer. Okay, so we're still in POP when we talk about branding. We talk about what differentiates you, what makes you unique. And then we figure out ways that you can actually prove that the product before you create it is going to be successful, which will then mean if you do prove that it's going to be successful, then you actually go on to create it. So that's what we're looking at here. This is module 4. This is where our offer obsession comes in. Okay, this is where you choose your winning offer. This is how you pick it. This is how you design it. And we walk you through, how do you find your pricing? How do you figure out how much it should be? What does it actually look like when you create the product? What kinds of formats are they going to, is your ideal audience going to consume best inside of this program? Okay, so then once you figure this out and you're like, okay, yes, we're going to create this offer because we know that there's a hungry audience for it. The lead magnet is part of your offer as well. Then we're going to go into the profit part. This is the P, profit playlist. This is everyone's favorite part because this means that your offer is created, it has a monetary value, and you are getting it in front of the people who need it, and you are selling it. That's it. This is where we create content with confidence because we know our messaging and we know our hungry audience. Then let me show you missing piece number 2. If we go back here, can I go back? I want to go to, I want my video will go away. Hold on one second. Here's where we get missing piece number 2. Okay, this is the community. So as you can see, you obviously come here. We have our course progress and we have our group progress. So this is our group that comes along with Pop Lock and Profit. It's the community. It is so important. These members are great. If you're watching this and you're in here, I mean, it is such a great group of people. People ask questions in here. People ask about certain things. People give ideas in here. People ask for feedback in here. We talk about what your profitable idea is going to be. People say, hey, is it too early to sell a course with this many followers? This is in real time. Because you will get stuck. You will have questions, right? You'll want to quit on a Tuesday and you'll feel motivated again on a Thursday. And the difference between success and giving up is having people who have been where you are, even if they're only one step ahead, who can answer your specific questions. That's the difference. And who won't let you disappear when things get hard. We have a couple of members inside this community who I know are in each other's messages every day going, hey, what did you do today for your digital product? What'd you do today for your offer? Did you create a piece of content today? They're keeping each other accountable. Inside of Pop Lock and Profit community, which comes with the course, obviously, we don't just give you templates. We help you use them. We don't just teach strategy. We help you apply it to your business that you're building. Okay. So if you don't know what to post, no big deal, okay? More content ideas, more template inspiration, more inspiration in general lives inside the community. When we're going through Pop Lock and Profit, we use something called a reverse engineering method. So we start with what you're selling. We work backwards to create content that leads people to that solution. This is the thing that we focus heavily on inside of Creators Corner. If you're in there, you know that is the content mentorship group, where all we focus on inside that community is how to create content. Now, obviously, we talk about that in Pop Lock and Profit, but if you want a community that, because you're ready, right? So say you go through, you have your offer, you know your messaging, you know your audience, you know your demographic, you know that they're hungry for what you have. Now your next step is creating content that converts. That's what we created Creators Corner for. Wow, that's a lot of creators in there. But this is where we literally walk you through together. Okay, so you get the post with purpose system where every single post has a job. There is no dead ends. You're either building awareness, you're creating connection, or you're moving towards purchase. There's no more random posting hoping that something sticks. It doesn't work like that, right? Problem number 2 is, I don't know if my idea will work. Well, in here we test fast. The POP method takes people through how to validate your idea in less than 30 days, not 30 months. So week by week, you're getting feedback from people who've done this before. Real people saying, I tried this or I did this. That won't work because I did this, right? You skip the expensive mistakes. 7 years of them because you're learning from people who already made them. Problem number 3 is usually, I start things, but I don't finish, or I need accountability or I'm not going to be successful. Well, here in the community in Pop Lock and Profit, we have built-in accountability and bite-sized progress. I don't think that there's a module more than 25 minutes long. Most of them are less than 20 minutes. I know for a fact one is 25. When you know that 50 other people are working through the same module as you, when you can celebrate wins together and problem solve together, finishing becomes inevitable. Okay, we just had a 3-month check-in, a Zoom call to see where everyone was who had started with me back when we first launched Pop Lock and Profit. So everyone knows each other's skills and strengths because we've been part of this community together for so long. Plus, the framework is designed so that you can see progress every week, not just at the end. Okay, so don't just take my word for it. Here's what students are saying about Pop Lock and Profit and what they have discovered, not only in themselves, but also about what they can create. I had one student say, I just got my first client today and I feel so good about it, all because of this program. Before this, I was just aimlessly posting, trying all the trends, but now I have direction, which is priceless. Another student shared, this program saved me years of trial and error and figuring out on my own. Hallelujah, that's exactly what it's for. And another one said to me today, your course has given me so much clarity into what I want to offer and how to get there. I was spinning my wheels for months, and within just a few weeks, I have clear direction. So here's exactly what this looks like. In Pop Lock and Profit, each week you focus on one thing. Week 1 is mindset. Week 2 is pick your market. Week 3 is validate your demand. No skipping ahead, no falling behind. Now, you can try to go at this alone, right? And try to piece things together. Trust me, I've done that. I did that for 7 years and it didn't work because I was piecemealing things together that weren't part of the same system. Being like, well, this is the beginning of this system and the middle of this system. I should be able to just, no, it doesn't work like that, right? And so what I'm going to encourage you to do is I have this brand new workshop I'm going to share with you here. It is absolutely free. I didn't want to call it a masterclass because it's not that. You're not just going to sit back and listen. You're actually going to do things. So I'm going to encourage you, even if you think you have an idea, to go through the Reinvention Era workshop and workshop with me. Like actually sit down and do the work. Because what you're going to find is, okay, maybe I missed this little detail, or I have so many ideas, but how do I narrow it down to one? Well, your Reinvention Era will help you do that. And then how do you figure out, is there a hungry audience? What's the most important thing that you need before you actually build this? The biggest thing that most people do or miss is that they don't look for proof before they start to build something, right? You can get a proven framework and a real set of community support if you're tired of starting and stopping. If you've been in this shiny object syndrome for a while, if you're ready to actually finish what you start, right? If you want to build something real instead of just consuming more information. That's why I created your Reinvention Era workshop. This brand new workshop will walk you through the beginning steps of starting and building your own profitable online business with a proven strategy. The framework works. The community works. The question is, are you ready to work with them instead of against them? I'm going to put the link for your Reinvention Era below. I would love to hear your feedback, what you discover, what you figure out that you can create, and then I'll see you on the inside.